A lot of these fragrances are getting a shit ton of glaze on every social media platform. Let's see whether or not they're worth it. Hottest fragrances right now and whether or not you should buy them. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. If you're not already a part of the family, you definitely want to join because we're always talking about newbies and, niche designer and all that good stuff. Today, we're going to be talking about five, some of the newest 5 Middle Eastern fragrances added to my collection. I've been seeing 2 of these pop up a lot lately, and a lot of questions are also popping up. So let me trend down or give you guys the sequence of which these are coming in. There is a very popular blonde amber, okay, that was in a hottest right now episode a while ago, and now there are 2 companies that have dropped a dupe, and a lot of your questions are coming up and I see them, okay? So I've been rocking Amber Empire, and now today we're going to be talking about Mason Asrar's Farah Salab and Muharib, one of which are also blonde amber, and we're going to be talking about it. And from here on out, I'm going to be testing them. So before you ask the questions that I know you guys have and I'm going to answer, I'm letting you know right now, moving from this table today, I've already tested Amber Empire, but I will be testing it right side by side with the other dupe, okay? Moving on, so let's go ahead and get started, yeah? This is called Farah Salab by Mason Asrar, a brand new fragrance, and it's taking like a shit ton of people have been talking about this one. So the first experience that I have with this is that it's a blonde. It's a blonde. I recorded too much. Anyway, it's a blonde amber dupe. It is so close as well. It's light, it's diffusive, it's a blonde amber and tobacco. Simple as that. A vanillic accord. Actually, there's a lot more to it, to be honest with you, but what the average nose will detect is ambers and tobacco. In fact, when I rocked this one, actually, when I went to the mechanics, my boy was like, dude, you smell like patchouli and vanilla. But it's not patchouli, it was tobacco. But mind you, he doesn't have a big collection. Sorry, dude. Not sorry. All right, so this fragrance basically has the main accords of that tobacco and amber and also the vanilla, but there's a lot more to it. There's some dried fruit style of accords. There's also some spice, which to me smells like cardamom, etc. It's a very sexy scent, but $500 is just absolutely absurd. So I applaud these fragrances. I love them. And this, I love too, but $500. So putting something against this is pretty hard because this does a lot of things really well. Premium ingredients, check, still not $500. Premium performance, check, still not $500 though. And the presentation, sure, whatever. You're gonna spray it and you're gonna walk away, bro. But for a lot of you guys who like a bougie collection, it does look like a bougie little bottle. All right, so in order for it to even be close or good enough, it has to check off at least those 2 boxes. And here comes Farah Salab. And it has actually has both of those. So right off the top, you're gonna get the tobacco, the amber, and some of those spice. And as you wear this fragrance, you're going to see a very clear-cut resemblance between both of these fragrances. But is it perfect? No, it's not. It's not a one-to-one. The main differences between both of these is going to be the richness of the ambers and also the contrast of the spice. This smells like a very respectable 85 to maybe 90% inspo. It's all there, you guys, except for 2 elements, like I said. The spice and the richness of the ambers could potentially be the dried fruits. I don't really get the stickiness of it. It kind of reminds me of like an 85 to 88% shadow of this. Still an excellent fragrance. Now, I did kind of cheat a little bit. I sprayed it on my arm just to kind of test it, longevity and stuff, and it gave me a solid 6 to maybe 7 hours. But mind you, I wasn't even wearing it properly. The proper Neeb wearing is going to be a spray. So you know what? This fragrance, as an inspo, is excellent. As far as right now, I think this is one of the only ones that are available right now, but whether or not it's gonna be better, richer, stronger, just a better dupe, etc., I'm gonna have to test it because a lot of people watch these videos, and that's a big responsibility. I will be testing them, and as always, I don't care who it is, sorry, not sorry, we're gonna keep it 100% honest between whether Amber Empire or Farah Salab are closer, which one's better, which one's longer lasting. You can find all that information here in the next, I would say, week and a half or 2 weeks. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, so let me know in the comment section if you really want that video fast up. We'll put that on the top of the list. Okay, I know a lot of you guys really want that video, but if you were to grab this, I don't think you'll regret it at all because I loved rocking the scent and I could smell it for a solid 3 hours projecting, okay? I didn't sissy spray either. I did about 8, I would say 8 to 10 sprays as well. Moving on, the next one on this list is called Raad by Matten. You guys have to know about this one. My experience with this was outstanding. It's a musky coffee and peppers style of fragrance. It's very different. It gives me a suede accord. It kind of reminds me of like Bois Imperial Essential Parfums with a little bit of castly without the freshness. but just amazing. I loved wearing this fragrance even more. This is a better fragrance than Castley. Period, to me. It has no freshness like Castley, but I enjoyed rocking this one more. I rocked this one during the airport. I lost my passport as well when rocking this, and everybody who smelled me was like, dude, what the hell are you wearing? Pop this out, and it's actually missing a lot of sprays because of that. So longevity for this one is all freaking day. The scent profile, like I said, it's a musky suede coffee and peppers. Super unique and very sexy. I would personally signature scent this for like the fall, the winter, and even during the springtime, early spring. Moving on. This is also from Maison Raad, and it's called Muharib. The main notes of this one is going to include some frothy lavender, also honey and tobacco. Ow, that hurt. And it smells like Naxos. Except, what are the main differences, etc. So, one of the first things that I noticed is going to be that at the top, it doesn't necessarily have or capture the same amount of citruses that this one does, Naxos the original. Naxos the original opens up very vibrant, very energetic, and then it slowly develops into this frothy and foamy honey and lavender. Now, for most people, you know, that might be taken as like an automatic negative, but in actuality, for me personally, I take it as a positive. Naxos has always been a hard fragrance for me to wear. This is probably 3 or 4 years in my collection, and you can see there's virtually no dent. Because of a lot of contrast, it was just weird, like when do I even wear it? During the fall time, the citruses kind of seemed out of place. I don't really want citrus and honey, and it was just a little bit strange, but still a damn good fragrance. I know a lot of people raved about this, but I kind of sat on the bleachers with people, you know, raving about it. That is until this one kind of does it a favor in that aspect. So I'm not going to say that it's that different enough to, oh my God, it's better. But for me personally, I'm not telling you guys it's a better fragrance. For me personally, it was a better wearing experience. I don't like the citrus aspect in this fragrance. This one drops it, and it only holds on to the tobacco, the lavender, and also that frothy honey. Okay, so as a scent, it's a damn good scent. When I would wear it, it actually seems a bit more versatile because of that. One more thing before I stop talking about this one is that the richness and the frothy nature of the lavender in this one is not as frothy. However, for the price point, you guys, these are like 10% differences, which would place this at around, I'm gonna say about 85% for this one, which places it still for 15% difference. It's way more than 15% off. It's like 50% of the price point. At this price point, considering what we have, it still smells expensive. We're only highlighting how far off from this it is. We're not highlighting how cheap it smells or anything like that. As a fragrance, it doesn't smell cheap whatsoever. As a fragrance, it's still right there with niche and designer territory. So that's pretty much it for this one. It's called Muharib by Maison Raad. You guys know I do the Clone Wars, so I'm hyper specific and I hyper focus. I'm blessed with the OCD for that series. And these two, they're amazing. But I am gonna focus on the pros and the cons for the purpose of the series and you guys, and that's what we do best here. So to summarize these two, they're great fragrances for the price points. I think that if you were to cop this and you like lavender and honey, you're not gonna regret it, and same thing with Farah Salab. Moving on to the next two fragrances. Both of these are by Nusuk. This one is called Mahab or Mahab. I don't know, bro. It is what it is, but the bottle's pretty damn sick. Indicative of the bottle, you would think that this is going to be a feminine fragrance. However, it's not really to my nose. Let's see. Oh, this is a damn good fragrance. This is good in my opinion. There's a floral aspect to this that might create this certain delicacy, but it's only that trait that gives it some feminine trait. That's it. The rest, it has like this peppery suede and maybe even this musky pepper as well that kind of takes it in that territory of something, I don't want to say like that. It smells nothing like this fragrance, but just that trait that you'll find in like Baby Cat, the suede, the peppers, the very musky and diffusive, you know, almost sneeze style of peppers in the air, you'll find in this one. I love it. I personally love it. That peppery accord is something you can find in also, think teriyaki intense. There's a very spiced, suedey style of scent as well in that. You'll find it also in this. It's an excellent fragrance. I think that this might be inspired by Drunk Lovers by Born to Stand Out. It just smells fantastic. That's all I know. It's just a shame they put it in this bottle because it looks very femme. The fragrance itself is excellent. Last but not least, this was presented during 2024 Beauty World. Wasn't ready until this year. It's called Nusuk Rahik. And this is all about the honey vibes. And you guys know I'm from Yemen. And that's what we do. We do the best honey in the world. This fragrance smells like a patisserie, like a straight up glazed donut, except the glaze is honey. Maybe with some almonds there. You get a very glazed effect coming from the almond note. There are some florals in this one as well, as maybe some powdery woods as it starts to dry down, but the heart of the fragrance is going to be that very sweet style of honey. It's not anything that smells like the typical sticky or very dense and molasses-like honey. It's a perfect combination and balance, in my opinion, between a more or less viscous, more watery style of honey in combination with vanillas. And that's pretty much it, you guys. These are some of the hottest fragrances right now, some of them that are trending. Whether or not they're worth it is completely up to you, but I genuinely love the fragrances that we're talking about here in this episode. One fragrance that I would personally not recommend in this video is going to be spending the $500 for this. Last but not least is Boss's new fragrance. I think this is called Beyond. All right, I've been seeing this everywhere, all over social media and also at duty frees. And I finally got my nose on it and figured, you know what, let me just see if the hype is real for this one. It's a ginger leather take on their original DNA. And honestly, every time that I've been smelling it, for the most part, I've only been living for the first like hour or two. It smells pretty different, but I'm not like, oh my God, this ecstatic vibe, right? Like, especially from the Elixir and the Absolute, they really set the boundaries pretty damn high for what they can do. I think it's a pretty refreshing take, but overall the DNA and the base and what it seems like it's going to reveal itself into doesn't seem that interesting to me, at least right now. I am going to be putting most of these fragrances, if not probably about 2 of these fragrances on the side for me to actually test and wear. But first impression with this one, I'm not impressed at all. It's a leather, ginger, ambery, and aromatic fragrance that I've smelled time and time again. That smells pretty damn generic. I wouldn't necessarily run and grab this right away, but if something changes, I'll let you guys know in a future video, because scent is subjective, and over time, your experiences can definitely change. It's not a bad fragrance by any means, but when I'm dealing with fragrances that have scent profiles of like $500 and shit, it's like, how can it even compete? You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is like, these are cheaper. My name is Neeb. Thank you for tuning back in AROMATIX. Let me know down in the comment section what you have been seeing trending like crazy. We'll pick it up and feature it in the next video. Peace.